Welcome, 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 welcome. This is a wild concert. I am offering you a disclaimer. Don't stick around if you don't feel it in your heart. I'm going to be a little rough, opinionated, tell some stories, share some strong opinions. Frankly, I think I have more insight on a wide range of issues than most. Very valuable, very absent. I think you'd be well off to give it a try. It's hard. Your heart's not always happy. Heart's not always patient. Heart's not always kind. It's earth. It's wild earth medicine. I just made us a prayer with tobacco for clarity and grace in this wildness. I believe judgments of the earth's basic substances are stupid. They're medicine for extreme feelings. It's hard to keep them in balance. It's hard to smoke a little bit of tobacco and not smoke a lot. I do. I go months without it. I smoke twice. I move on. I stayed inside again today. The air quality sucked. It's hard to feel normal when it's like Armageddon seems to be at the edge of our reality. At such times, it's imperative that we cherish what is real, what is true, what is loving. It's also imperative that we presence the things that are not, to the extent that we can face them and put them down. It's not always comfortable, and people often have the tendency to try to repress or block such things. It's hard to ride the balance. I do. Almost heaven. Almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old here, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road. I have relatives in West Virginia. I don't know them well. My grandmother grew up in Western Virginia, right south of West Virginia, where she had other relatives. I find it to be sacred to ride the balance between being a liberal and being an American. My liberal values don't tolerate a lot of stuff that's common in other communities that I also see as family. And I don't see much of an effort these days in uniting and keeping love going in face of hatreds. All my memories wrapped around her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road. I hear her voice in the morning, now she call me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Traveling down the road, I've got a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road. I'm moved by a couple things. One, America's sort of fallen apart. We're polarized on so many issues, and I feel like I got great insight and love on most of them. I also feel like my opinions aren't particularly welcome. Everybody's got an objection these days. I drink a beer, I probably undermine myself as a holistic healer, right? And thousands of my subscribers come from knowing me as a spiritual person. And many people's ideas of being spiritual say, no, you don't drink a beer or sing redneck songs. And I say that with disdain. I don't believe in the term, but there's a lot of hatred going on. People hide their shadows. Hiding your shadow. You find a bigger shadow, and then you can hide your shadow by pretending to hate that shadow, but you're still hating. Hatred's always sick. I wrote this song years ago. I saw fires coming. They started stronger pretty soon in California, and I just left California. Ayatum, to the living trees. Let them teach, sustainable living. And I shall learn to trust her again. And I shall learn to trust her again. Ayatum, to the living trees. Let her teach, sustainable living. And I shall learn to trust her again. No matter how hard it is, I will keep on stepping. Please help us to attune to what you ask us to be, Earth Mother Gaia. Please help us inspire, tune us to the fire of your yearning. 'Cause we are burning way too much to burn. When will we ever learn? Ice caps melt, storms and oceans rise. Can't see forests through the trees, cut them down and kill the bees. Ecosystems death through suicidal seeds. Not how humans are meant to feed. We are making choices based in short term greed, and I'm hearing voices that speak for the trees. Here we are, never near, never too far. Dig deep, well beyond sleep. Understand truly that talk is cheap, yet your actions burn inside your soul, and be whole in the oversoul. Allow yourself to truly be in tune with the love eternally, and know your truth within your way each day, each and every day. 'Cause I will learn to trust her way again, no matter how hard it is. I will keep on stepping. Blackened oceans, poison rivers, kill the streams as we tear the mountains down. To steal their hearts, turn the prairie into deserts, monocrop with chemicals we do not understand. I wanna know who is in command. We are making choices we do not understand, and I'm hearing voices that speak for the land, saying if there is a way, our love can dance into remission, superstitions that we're made of. Please align our grace so we can bring life back here. We're calling on the name of love, dampen down the fire, cleanse the essence of the land. Calling on the name of love, please help us understand. I wanna know who is in command. We are making choices that we do not understand, and I'm hearing voices that speak for the land. Saying tune, it's a tune, it's a tune with the living. Yes, a tune with the living. Yes, a tune with the living. We're not, we're still attuned with old dead people, ideas that have been around forever that don't suit now. And the inability to question outside or beyond that is keeping us sick. And meanwhile, we're on autopilot, making terrible decisions designed by people who didn't, and don't recognize the challenges we're in right now. And whenever the system is pressured too much, the fault lines start to appear. It's like if you've been carrying 100 pounds for a long time, maybe you've gotten stronger. You've gotten good at carrying 100 pounds, right? But if somebody gives you another 50, maybe you can't do it anymore, and you drop your bundles, your baggage, and all of a sudden, all the problems, they're right on the surface. It's normal. It's a normal process. In my community, there's a group called the 12 Tribes. It's a block away. They've got a house here. They've got like 24 in the world at least. There's a deep beauty to them. I met them out west at one point. They're living As the 12th tribe of Israel, exiled, traveling the world, carrying the energy of ancient historical Israeli, but Christianity. It's a unique blend. There's a great beauty to the people who've made this choice in the face of a world that's lost community, lost an understanding of living together and caring for each other. We're fractured. And yet when those bonds are maintained along with moral values that we can't accept, such as everybody gets to hit the children, such as men are in permanent position of dominance over women. These things can't be sustained. They're not acceptable. And I feel it. I felt it for years. I feel the presence of this eroded boundary, and I feel it within myself. And I have to struggle too much not to think that it makes sense to maintain dominance when my children don't do what I want them to do. And I have to say no to the existence of any circle of humans who believe that it's okay to mistreat others and use power, particularly within families, within circles that are founded in love, but to use violence in these spaces, violating sacred bonds of intimacy. We got to slow it down. We got to learn the consequences of all our different balance. You try to correct in one direction and you go in the other direction too far. They're both monsters, you know. You got to stay focused on where you are overdoing it. And yeah, sure, the opposite ends of fear, but that's not the problem right now. All these men rising up and saying, oh no, people of color demanding too much, affirmative action's a threat to me. Change the balance a little and they're scared that they'll lose what keeps them okay. And a smidgen of a hint that things could change against them are terrifying, right? But the whole system's been stacked against for so long. Can we choose a system that's better for everyone? To get there, we're going to have to be uncomfortable, even people who look like me. Sweet sensation rising up in me. Come and take me so, guide me through the depth of who I used to be. My fear dissipating, re-relating to be more real. Come ignite my crown, surrender higher, true desire to be. Got a sense, please play me. Every single moment that I try to get my groove, to dance in the sky, I remember that's from where we came. Every single day that I awaken, I embrace what once was taken to be. For goodness sake, we're heavens. Every single night she calls me through, making love is all we do. My dreams are whispering, I behold you. To move in a subtle, deeper groove. To move in a subtle, deeper, I behoove you, I behoove. Please allow your body to move in a subtle, deeper groove. I behoove you. Mind comes unglued and the heart screams through, and your pain keeps flipping faster than you can feel. It's real as we heal, reality breaks as we learn to let life take us deeper in. hold the groove. Shadow once, nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters until we believe. Let's plot this spot, what we see in the blot. I'm hot, not God, but I'm not down. Gotta be lost to find sacred ground. Got to be wounded to be unwound. Got to be chained to be unbound. I behold you, I behold. Please allow your body to move in a subtle, deeper groove. I behold you. Every single moment that I cry, I would like to bring down from the sky golden liquid light. Feed my mind, my heart, mind. Every single attitude we hold be laid down to break the mold. Without your dreams, your hearts grow cold inside. Every single hope that melts disease, leave you bawling on your knees. If you embrace what life agrees to give, you'll live here. Let's plot this spot, what you see in the blot. What do you do when the pain seems true and you're feeling attuned to something new and your heart keeps skipping a beat or two? Your mind keeps flipping through your life review. Spirit is dancing in the depths with you as your soul is screaming. It's time to renew. I behold you, I behold. Please allow your body to move in a subtle, deeper groove. I behold you, I behold. Please allow your body to move in a subtle, deeper groove. Thank you for being here. Everything in me at this point trusts that we're going through a serious transition in culture and a tipping point of a magnitude that, it's not, it's every several thousand years we go through a change this big. And that involves changes in all sorts of patterns. So patterns that used to make sense, used to be normal, are no longer working. And I think we've been in this breakdown for a couple decades now, at least. It's appropriate to be confused, and it's necessary to make love in the face of that. To make love that respects and honors each other, to make love that's more subtle, deeper groove, not so demanding, refusing to accept dominance as a fundamental part of lovemaking. Goodness. There's not enough trust. It's been a long road for me. And for many years, I refused to sing other people's songs because I felt like I couldn't get my voice out, and I was convinced I am tapped into a deeper groove that isn't represented. So I was keen on staying with my muse and in the process, I made some songs that are pretty intense, and I've learned to understand that they're not for all the time. I can't practice this stuff every couple of weeks even. It fries things. Other things don't work. There's a time for it. When the fires are high and we can't even breathe well outside, it's a good time because you got to keep faith in the face of this. Medicine is often similar to the disease. Fiery medicine is necessary for dealing with fire and fear and terror, but you can't stay in it or you get stuck. In all these years, I felt I had to really fight for my voice. I didn't always know who I was fighting with, but it certainly felt like I was surrounded by critics, even when people sort of stopped criticizing me in person. I'm difficult to fight with, although I might exaggerate that in order to feel safer than I've ever really been. But in truth, people did stop criticizing me at a certain point, and I marched through the middle of a lot of communities, presencing some pretty extreme opinions. I am just a poor boy, my story's rarely told. I have squandered my resistance on a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jest, that a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. How's it go? And I left my home and family. I was no more than a boy in the company of strangers, hiding out beneath the railway station, running scared, lying low, seeking out the poor quarters where the ragged people go, finding places only they would know. Lie, la, lie. Lie, la, lie, la, lie, la, lie, lie, la, lie. La 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 la. Asking only workmen's wages, I went looking for a job, but I got no offers, just the come-ons from the whores on 2nd Avenue. I do declare that sometimes I got so lonesome that I took some comfort there. Now I'm waiting out my winter clothes and praying I was home, going home, where the New York City winters are not bleeding me, leading me home. In the clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him, till he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, that the fighter still remains. Lie, la, lie. Lie, la, lie, lum, lie, la, lie, lie, la, lie. Lie, la, lie, lum, lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie. Lie, la, lie, lum, lie, la, lie, lie, la, lie. Lie, la, lie, lum, lie, la, lie, la, 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 lie. It's medicine, man. You know, for whatever it's worth, I identify with that. I still am a little paranoid. You know, I get comments. I can zero in on a comment that I get. You know, YouTube lets me know when I got a new comment. And I'm like convinced it's going to be someone attacking me. And it's not. It's someone complimenting me. It's not all the time. It's random. I still got this like PTSD. It's sad. You know, it's subtle, but I acknowledge it. And I'm still feeling like that boxer, like ready to fight for myself. Keeping people at a distance who I want to love better. It sucks. I feel like I'm not accepting the appreciation that is available because of it. So this song that I'm going to play, I can sometimes scream. It's intense. I love it. It's very passionate. It's full of rage. I know how to talk to animals. I know how to be very conscious with animals. It's something that's quite available to us, although we maintain a rather hard boundary that I learned how to move through. And I return, and I've recentered pretty well as a human. But animals are neither capable nor willing to block out some of the most obvious and awful ways that human beings behave. You know, one of the biggest tragedies in the world is that it's possible for people to live near the mouth of a river and not swim in it. And it's not just that we can't swim in it. People don't even consider how wrong it is that we can't swim in it. It's so polluted, and it's been polluted for so long that no one even questions. 20 million people in the New York metropolitan area, no one goes swimming in the Hudson. Why? Because it's sick. We put our pain in those waters. We put our garbage in those waters. The only reason human beings could make a decision to pollute sacred fresh water is because we're in pain. Thus we're being hasty. Thus we want things cheaply. Thus somebody else is hasty, cuts corners, does the cheapest, least conscious manner of farming, of factory use. But those factories are making things for us. Those farms are making things for us, and everybody wants a cheaper price. But the consequences is that they're dumping in the water. Let this song live. Let its spirit give us medicine. Again and again we dive within to set this life in motion so that we can learn to love and defy every commotion in devotion to theirs. Wake up, it's time. Sing with the spirit audience, let their dance be your recompense as they groove with you. Wake up. It's time to get up. It's time to stand up. It's time to remember. I feel it coming on. Depths of my spirit song. It's got a ride that might collide till it rips you apart. It shows you inside. Let spirit breathe in you. Speak when you're spoken through. Stand when you're ready to, because to be aware is the greatest dare of all. I feel my blood boil. I feel my mind spoil. I feel my heart recoil when I stare into the nature of this. I feel my blood boil. I feel my heart spoil. I feel my mind recoil as we stare into the nature. People don't look into nature because you have to see the pain. It's one of the first things that's there. Let me tell you, if you stare long enough, you begin to talk to the animals a little more deeply. They test you. They want to know all of it. They want to know what you are. And when you show them that you're real, they'll let you know that there are still safe places that humans have not ruined. And these oases nurture the heart of a wildness that's been waiting. Spirits, they are dancing, their bodies, they are pounding, they're swirling. Sensations reach through to my mind, once distant awareness. No way to compare this. They're calling, they're begging us to remember. We are divine. We are divine. We are divine. In college, I once had a vision to get up on a table and call for silence in the dining hall and recite a poem. And I did it. I had a very clear kind of vision. It was intense. It was different than most of the insights that I'd ever known, and I knew it was real. And so I did it. It was daunting. No joke, no joke. 1,000-person capacity dining hall, full, on a weekend night. Whole place went silent. I knew I could do it, but I've never maintained it. Several more times in my life, I've addressed 1,000 people in person. I did well, by my standards. Some people didn't like it. Certainly well enough to keep going. And I haven't been given those opportunities again, and I haven't let myself want it. Present's too many fears in the way to see it through. I want it back. Guys, my name is Kaya, and I speak for the trees and the earth and the air and the birds and the bees, and I'm telling you, asking you, begging you, please listen. There's a resonance that is giving birth, and I swear to you, it's from the heart of the earth, and truly, if you know your worth, you will open up to see there's a mind that we all share that beseeches us all to learn to be aware and care and recognize of how in time to pray for an extraordinary universal song that to see teaches us all to learn to get along. Be strong. Because my name is Kai, and I speak for the trees and the earth and the air and the birds and the bees, and I'm calling you, begging you down on your knees. There's time enough to pray. There's time enough to pray. To be present with the beauty that is here is to pray to help keep it going, to pray to help create it in a way that lasts and moves through what's happening. See, none of what's occurring on the planet right now is either out of expectation or even out of love. When we pollute and pollute and pollute, when we mismanage our own lives in a way that attempts to dominate the entire earth, overfishing, overgrazing, taking vast tracts of ecosystems and monocropping them, ripping the nutrients out of the soil, we create dramatic imbalances that have a cost. And eventually, our ability to maintain control over such systems collapses. And then the fires come, and then the floods come, because this is what she does. She puts systems back in check. It's neither glory nor curse. It's just balance. And it's up to us to learn how to work with these balances in a way that brings our own lives. See, we can do this as individuals. When an individual makes a choice to live in the deepest balance we can find, given the circumstances we're in, we are seen. Angels aren't equalists. They don't treat every human being as an equal. They watch how we live. They watch what we do. And when they see that you're trying, when they see that you're striving, they help you. In the same way that I'm going to cultivate a tomato plant and pull away the plants that don't do well with the tomato plant. Because I am cultivating the tomato plant. They will cultivate you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be completely strong. They'll offer a lattice to a plant, like a tomato plant, that needs support. They help you when you strive. You don't have to rectify the whole system. You have to tune into a way of life that's healthy and sustainable, and you will be led through the damage to beautiful places, oases, and areas that are rebirthing. Because after fires come, ecosystems are reborn. And as the climate changes, fire has always been the tool. It's always been the tool. There are fires on this planet for times immemorable. And they burn down forests, and then a new kind of forest will regrow because the temperatures are higher in northern Canada and Siberia now. So nothing is, it is wrong, and it's not wrong. And we must stop it, and we can't stop it. And we must participate in changing and transforming what we can, and trust that when we take on a challenge that we won't surmount, we'll be led to a place where we are part of a new way. It's your effort, truly, that matters. The road to heaven is paved with good intentions. You maintain good intentions and you see them through. You learn with them. You learn with them. You listen. You adjust. And you become what the earth teaches you to be. You allow your intentions and your prayers to be bent. Bent. Now, I've gone through an arc of tuning so deeply into nature that I didn't listen. I listened to the pain, I felt the pain, but I didn't listen to Gaia's explanations for what were happening. But she stuck with me because I was trying so hard. She protected me, she stayed with my heart, and helped me learn to see that these disasters also are redeemable. But when I was down in the Gulf, on the Gulf Coast for the time of the oil spill, it was too much to bear. I hated American society for what it does, for what it is, for its callousness, for its inability to recognize the total mass murderous way of life that we live. Fire, temptation to fill the void with what we've been. Nothing left, make it all go away. That's not for which we are asked to pray. Leave Armageddon. Leave Armageddon. Oh my goodness, where are we heading? Water the dreams, leading the plow. Sacred guidance through the violences. Where's your imagination now? Sacred guidance through the violences. Sacred guidance through the violences. Leave Armageddon. Leave Armageddon. Instant karma is beckoning. We're entering the quickening. Greed and rape will be plowed in. Greed and rape will be plowed in. Leave Armageddon. Oil apocalypse to crack our grief. A stare and naked disbelief as fear and greed collaborate, determining our fragile fate. I draw a line into the sand to end the rape of sea and land. I draw a line into the sands of time. as blackened waters wash the shores. What does it take to say no more? As blackened waters wash the shores. What does it take to say no? You know, there's a parallel between how we treat the earth and how women are treated in the world. And as much as we've made progress as a society, we haven't really gotten into what's healthy yet. We're too far to even be able to see it. Now, this isn't to say that it's all like men against women, but there's a fundamental way in which sex, relationships can be brokered in such a way that angst gets given to the woman to hold, receive. The angst gets bundled up in the man and thrust into a woman to receive. In the same way we thrust our pain into the earth. When we're reckless and burn, why are we burning? We're burning because we want to get somewhere. Did you need to go there? Did you need that dinner? Did you have anything in the fridge you could have eaten, or did you have to go out at the last minute to get what you think you want that night? We burn to keep the houses hot. But do you need it to be that hot? Can you turn it down? How many choices are made to keep lights on in the evening, which isn't good for you anyway? Half the burning we do isn't necessary, and if half of the burning we do is turned down, turned off, maybe a lot of these disasters wouldn't happen. We wouldn't be putting the pressure on oil companies to get more, so they wouldn't cut corners, and we wouldn't have oil spills, because we would treat it as a sacred relationship. We don't even have to stop the fossil fuels to change that, to see it as a sacred relationship. And it's so tempting to say those people doing it are the fault. But really, we're all the fault if we fight for lower prices and if we dance while our beds are burning. Excuse me. I think this deserves a better introduction and the proper key. When I was a teenager, I loved Midnight Oil. If you don't know Midnight Oil, you need to. Just incredible Australian environmentalist, spiritual environmentalists. The Dead Heart is a song about what happens when people turn their hearts off and ignore the destruction that we cause. Do dong do 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 do. Don't serve your country, don't serve your king. Know your custom, don't speak your tongue. White men came, took everyone. Serve your country, don't serve your king. White man, listen to the song we sing. White man came, took everything. We carry in our hearts the true country, and that cannot be stolen. We follow in the steps of our ancestry, and that cannot be broken. Serve your country, don't serve your king. White man, listen to the songs we sing. White man came, took everything. Need protection, don't need your hand. Keep your promise on where we stand. We will listen, we'll understand. Carry in our hearts the true country, and that cannot be stolen. We follow in the steps of our ancestry, and that cannot be broken. The heart. The heart lives here. Forgive me. I can't let go into these songs as much as I want to because I don't want to wake my family up. Kind of chomping on the bit on it. So there's a devastating truth that we're living in these times when many people are benefiting from our heritage, right? We follow in the steps of our ancestry. That can't be broken. Well, the other part of this is that you don't know who you were 300 years ago. And if you don't believe in yourself as a being who was alive in another form, in another body, then you're never going to be at peace with what's happening now. Because as the boundaries get pressed to the edge of sanity and beyond, you start to remember. You can't help but remember. And in that regard, it's our responsibility as a member of whatever race, ethnicity, community we're a part of to help rectify the imbalances and create a much better world. Create opportunities for everyone who's loving and needs a hand to receive it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that always looks like. I think offering sort of a permanent opportunity to have a job that's decent, that helps rectify the terrible imbalances of the world, is pretty rational. And offering that to everyone who wants it. At the same time, it's rational, it's relevant to say, you might want to be a little humble about how you fight, because you don't know who you were 300 years ago, and you might have been a slave owner, or you might have been a slave, or you might have been both. That's a really daunting thing for many people to get minds around, hearts into. But I promise you, as you awaken, you have to stop projecting hatred out at other people. You have to stop righteousness that resents other people as if you understand where they came from, because you don't. They might look like something, they might fit an understanding you have, they might mirror opinions that are unacceptable, but that doesn't mean you know what they are. There's a way we can heal these wounds. There's a way we can heal these wounds. It's a way, it's a path. And I swear to you, it begins with a fierce love. A love that can stare into wounds, be present with them and stronger than them, and humble to the fact that you've been evil and you've been victim and you've been everything in between, and most likely you've been loving far more often than not. But there's no evil out there that you can't find a piece of within yourself. And yeah, we gotta stop a lot of the behaviors on this planet. And sometimes when you draw the boundaries that stop these behaviors, wow, people leave. But typically they're making that choice. Don't think you can make it for them. 'Cause it's a mystery to me. 'Cause it's a mystery to me. We have agreed to which we have agreed. Here, I'm gonna figure this out, all right? I haven't played this in a while. This is from Eddie Vedder sang this in Into the Wild. I've been too afraid to watch that movie ever. It's too close to home, too much like me. I gave up everything I owned multiple times in a similar manner to this young man. One of my girlfriends read the book while I was with her and told me about it, and I was traumatized. And years later, they made a book about it. Yeah, years later, they made a movie about it. And Eddie Vedder did a lot of the music. And when I first heard this song, my girlfriend played it for me. A different girlfriend. And I cried my eyes out because it was my song. 'Cause it's a mystery to me. We have agreed to which we have agreed. Think you have to want more than you need. Until you have it all, you can't be free. Society, you crazy breed. Hope you're not lonely without me. Society, you crazy indeed. Hope you're not angry if I disagree. You think you have to want more than you need. When you think too much, your thoughts begin to bleed. Think I need to find a bigger place. 'Cause you have more than you think, you need more space. Society, you crazy breed. Hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. Hope you're not angry if I disagree. There are those of us thinking more or less is more. But if less is more, how you keeping score? Kinda like you're starting at the top. For every point you make, your level drops. Society, you're hazy and pretty deep. Hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. Hope you're not lonely without me. Society, crazy indeed. Hope you're not angry if I disagree. Society, crazy indeed. Hope you're not lonely without me. Ten years of that. Gave up a house, gave up a car, gave up another car, 2 more. Then I started traveling. I'd carry my stuff. Then I'd realize I was a moron for carrying so much stuff. So I just leave stuff. And after years and years of this, I'd get to the point where I'd regularly sit down in a park, take out everything I owned, stare at it, think about what I really needed, set aside everything in a nice pile that I didn't. I never had things that weren't of value. Left them and moved on. And at a certain point, I decided to stay. Over the course of that time, I almost died 20 times. I felt death 20 times, more than. I counted one night. I passed 20 and I was crying so hard I couldn't. I hadn't realized how bad it had been in a way. And I suppose I didn't feel suicidal, but in a way I was riding out that sense of hopelessness and trying to find joy in life in the face of it. And I did. Again and again, I was given grace and kindness and magic and passion and hope and inspiration. And I was given dreams that are worth living for. And at a certain point, I did a fast. And during that fast, I met Mary Magdalene. And she said, live, have a family, help change this. And I'm still wrestling. I haven't fully come back. I have to wrestle every damn step I take. And as I try to make my life work, and as I try to make my work present in the world and assert I'm one of the best energy movers, transformers in the world. I can shift energies and fears and pains and wounds that many, 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 many cannot touch, because I've gone so deep. I went past the past. I won games again and again, and I didn't stay for the celebration. I just kept going deeper. I said, show me more, show me more. That's me. And now that I was sent back, I'm still wrestling with the part of me that doesn't want to play. Thinks that wanting more is greed. Doesn't know how to ask for enough help to make it work. And I'm asking you to hold this prayer. Help me, please. Help me make this real, because I fight within myself most of all to thrive, to stand up, to share what I am in a way that can help change this. And God only knows. The world needs more people like this. I can hold a lot, and I want it. When I did that fast, I finished a song that I'd been working on for years. There's a whisper might find easy to ignore. Yes, I implore you to adore. To walk this walk and feel this call come in. No, this is the call to heal. It's rising into what else real. Yeah, today. And the whisper say, may I be at peace with the land. May I be the love between the plants, and the may I be at peace with the land. May I be the love between the plants and the man. Good God, Goddess, I am barely breathing. I can't believe what I am receiving. Help me surrender to this believing. Help me surrender to this land. Is this land? May I be at peace with the land. May I be the love between the plants and the man. Yeah, reaching way back in time, I find the rhythm of this design. It's a sacred plan, as it's always been, mystically weaving our hearts again, crystally leading us on and through a cauldron of passion. We live in truth, evolving through centuries of so much pain. Sift through the terror with creative rain. Find, salve, solve, and resolve in love with our truest selves again. Saying, may I be at peace with the land. May I be the love between the plants and the human. That marked the end of me being a vegan. I was a vegan for 10 years. And that marked the end. I felt the very clear guidance for the second time in my life. Not to remain just with plants, that I needed meat. I needed it for the strength to push through and own myself and my dreams. And I've stayed with it, and it still hurts my heart sometimes. But I'm humbled to the sense that the animals do give this as a gift, the spirit of the cattle and the chicken. Choose who to help, and they make those they don't like sick. When you accept an animal into your being, your body, their consciousness is with you. They like it. They like the dance. They like the leap they get to make to be a part of us. And they'll make you sick if you are sick. So the sacred relationship will last for a while. And they'll let us know when it doesn't work anymore. They'll tell us. Angie, Misty, thank you for being here. I didn't know how to make the comments available, so I didn't know who was here. Thank you so much for being here. I love this song. I love it so much. I think it's so unique. It speaks from my heart like nothing else. I'm always disappointed by how it sounds, how it seems to get across, how it doesn't seem to get across. But, oh, good Lord, I love it. I wrote it after I met a blue heron and I stared it in the eye. And it taught me a lot. In the morning there's an ocean. When you're looking from the sky, with the earth just up above you, it's the ground that gets you high, higher than you ever knew before. Trust in the spirit, though, 'cause it's calling you. Are you ready? Still organic here in nature, But the animals are eyes, they're willing now to teach you. If you look them in the eye, will support you in all fail. Trust in the spirit, hail, 'cause it's calling you. Are you ready? Yes, it's calling you. Are you ready? Yes, it's calling you. Another killing in the streets, yet the animals still dance. They're willing now to teach you. If you give them half, I will support you, win or fail. Trust in the spirit, hell, 'cause it's calling you. Are you ready? Yes, it's calling you. Are you ready? Yes, it's calling you. You're ready to go with your hope and drive. You know we all die. Where's your spirit? Where does it reside? Do you really want to hide? Say, help. Got a little spark in my heart again. Get it started when I surrender it. Tune with the gifts of the living sun. Tell everyone our story has just begun. Underneath everything you think you know, skins you shake with a sacred tone. Only the strong believe and thrive. First you got to learn to survive. Been waiting for a long time, throughout so many years. It's not that I'm not satisfied, but send me on and guide me through. My fears are made for listening, whispering, let spirit say, hey. Single-minded, recognize it, realize, see between the beside, beneath, between. Reality is just your current, emancipate your enemies. Love the sacred, know you're not alone. Spirit speaks, this body is. No, you're not alone. Spirit speaks, this body is. Oh my God, yes. Spirit speaks, this body is. Oh my God, yes. Spirit speaks, this body is. Oh my God, yes. Spirit speaks, this body is my home. Thank you so much. I'm glad to share it. I've been scared of the music. I've been heartbroken by music. I maintain two wings of my life. Three, really: yoga, energy work, and music. For a long time, I didn't do anything else. I didn't care what I owned. That's what I did. And the music doesn't fit. Play this in public and people will say yes. Like, people appreciate it, but don't. Like, musicians seem to love it more than most. But I certainly don't know how. I haven't known how to bridge the gap. I've understood that it's just too far beyond what people are used to. I never did covers. I never included covers, and I've started doing that again. It's fun. I love it. I enjoy it. There are plenty of songs that speak for me, that are medicine for me, that I refuse to share because I sort of considered everything that was already made part of the mainstream, and that's foolish. So many of my most amazing teachers are musicians who I've reclaimed. 10 fingers counting each have we. 9 planets circle the sun. Repeat. 8 balls the last if you triumphant be. 7 oceans pummel the shores of the sea. If it's a typical situation in these typical times, too many choices. It's a typical situation in these typical times, too many choices. Well, everybody's happy, everybody's free. Keep the big door open, everyone will come around. Why are you different? Why are you that way? You don't get in line, we'll lock you away. It all comes down to nothing. Six senses circle 5 around a sense of self. I can see 3 corners from this corner. 2's a perfect number, but 1, oh, everybody's happy, everyone is free. Keep the big door open, everyone will come around. But why are you different? Why are you that way? You don't get in line, we'll lock you away. It all comes down to nothing. We can't do a thing about it. It all comes down to nothing. We can't do a thing. Ants Go Marching really led me straight out of corporate life. Oh, thank you so much. Now, so 5 years ago, 8 years ago, I started a night and I sang every week with other people for 4 hours. And I loved it. I loved keeping it going. And then I had kids and I definitely needed to chill out and tone it down. And now I want to bring the music back in a way that's wonderful for my family. And I've come to realize that the repression and frustration and like holding all this back is worse for my family than finding a way to express it. And I've certainly been nervous about overdoing it, but I'm just going to be committed to finding the right balance because it's exciting to bring it back. And my son has even been encouraging me to sing my songs lately. My wife always has. So I wrote a new song for the first time in a while. Wild. We are part of a world gone wild, with fire and flooding, new global style. Forgive all your enemies, give them a smile. Yeah, yo, don't ask why. Your world is torn. Let ego die. Let be reborn. Don't ask why. Your world is torn. Let your ego die and be reborn. And every single day is a new chance to love and cherish the water. It's what we're made of. The life that you are living will fit you like a glove. The receive your truest karma, you'll believe in who you truly are. When you perceive your oldest karma, you'll believe in who we truly are. 'Cause we are part of a world gone wild, with fire and flooding, new global style. Forgive all your enemies, give them a smile. Yeah, yo. Don't ask why your world is torn. Let your ego die and be reborn. Don't ask why your world is torn. Let your ego die and be reborn. It's time to remember that magic is real. The secret is hidden in how your heart feels. Embrace your truest dreams and break through every seal. Yeah, yo. Tune on in, hold on tight, walk through the darkness, embrace the light. Tune on in, hold on tight, walk through the darkness, embrace the light. 'Cause we are part of a world gone wild, with fire and flooding, new global style. Forgive all your enemies, give them a smile. Yeah, yo. Don't ask why your world is torn. Let your ego die and be reborn. Don't ask why your world is torn. Let your ego die and be reborn. Thank you, Angie. I love it too. You know, I carry a tremendous sadness that the circle of people I made music with, we kind of shattered. And I always saw it as there's a particular dynamic when the people are ghettoized. So, like, the fundamental principle is that we are taking our excess rage out on the earth, and we can't keep doing it. She can't keep handling it. She's saying as much with the fires, the floods. And it's not going to calm down anytime soon. It's also not going to be complete apocalyptic. There is a degree of in between. It's already happening. So it leaves us all in far greater fear about our basic circumstances. And that's the point. It's appropriate that we not rest so much in a false stability and that we begin fundamentally questioning the way we live on Earth. Period. And as we make the space to face the feelings that cause us to misuse her, that face the rages that people get rid of. The act of consuming too much is taking too much from the earth. You're consuming too much. Where does it come from? The earth. If you eat twice as much as you need to, you're taking that from the earth. If that was done with farming methods that are destructive to the earth, we're participating in the destruction of the earth. So when we face the loose emotions that cause us to consume in ways we don't need to, that cause us to be hasty, that cause us to burn too much, whether through travel or through electricity or through heat, when we face those undercurrents and we cherish and respect exactly the systems we have with burning, with fossil fuel, but we respect it. We recognize it for what it is. We're immediately put in a position where we have to feel our pain before we can avoid our pain with these distractions, with this false control that allows us to eat a burger whenever we want to. But when we cherish this, when we eat it with a sacred respect for the animal that gave it to us, when we do it with restraint, so we're not consuming meat when we don't need it, so we're not consuming when we don't need to, so we're not burning when we don't need to, then we face our pain, and then we heal our pain, and then we don't live with as much pain. See, it's good for everyone to do this work, and it does account for the difference between living in balance as a human race and living beyond our balance. If a third of the people on the planet fundamentally healed the worst in our lives, and consumed much less and burned much less as a result, we would have enough magnetism. If a tenth, as a tenth of us cross that threshold, we begin magnetizing a third in a way that will eventually tip the balance. It's well within hope. There's more than hope. This is the process. We're being challenged to do this work. And it works. We'll make the difference. We'll move through. And Gaia takes care of those of us who want it. We don't have to stop the whole system, and we certainly aren't supposed to hate it. We have to change ourselves and our lives, and we immediately live in the benefits and the blessings of the gifts that she gives us. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you for being with me tonight. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. That was beautiful. That was an hour and a half. All right. I've got an encore. It's straight to the point I just made. I love this little poem. I know I overlook it so much, and I don't know why. It's so beautiful. Here's the basic point. This is about trusting that what we do returns to us no matter what happens in front of our faces. No matter what happens in the circumstances of our lives, the heart we put into living well will take care of us. Defy common sense with the nature in you. Leave what you've sown and then harvest your due. Consequences always come through. Better handle your shit, lest your shit handle you. The earth lays it down, never pray to redo. There's always an angel witnessing you. These seasons are spiced, and each moment is new. And the gods all have names, goddess and they're riding with you.